Now, on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, America shocked by yet another mass shooting, this time at a bank in Louisville, the death toll rising overnight to 5. And in Tennessee, expelled Nashville Democratic Representative Justin Jones was reinstated, his reappointment coming just days after he was ousted for taking part in a gun violence protest. And across the crossroads in Victoria, a motorcyclist hospitalized last night after crashing into the back of a car.
On the outside, 55 degrees, holding in that number for a little while longer in Victoria. Cool start, northerly winds. About the rest of the day, it's going to be a pretty nice day today. But when is the next rain chance? I have that for you coming up in the full forecast.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain. Today is the 11th day of April 2023. The time is now just about 6:31 on your Tuesday morning, and today it's National Pet Day. Let's go ahead and turn to First Warn Storm Team Meteorologist Trey Mining. Trey, I never thought I'd have 3 dogs, but it's true. Bruno, Diego, and Spartacus. I love them all. I can't wait to go home to them during my break.
Oh, very nice. Well, doggone it, you ought to have a good break and visit with your dogs there. They're the precious they are. All right, let's take a look at the temperatures. Currently in the 50s area wide, 55 degrees to 56 degrees in Victoria. About 7 a.m. pretty much the same goes. It's not too long from now. Same thing by 8 a.m. By 9 o'clock, we're above 60 degrees, above 70 by the noon time hour. And our high temperature today will be 74, 75 degrees, occurring about 3 p.m. or so in the afternoon, with some partly cloudy skies throughout the region today, and keeping the rain out of the picture for now. All that's out in the Gulf of Mexico, head toward Louisiana, keeping it on the dry side for us. The Warren Doppler radar doesn't show any echoes so far. I think it's going to be pretty much a clean slate throughout the rest of the day. Some high clouds kind of rotating around the low pressure area to our east in the areas about in Wharton, El Campo, Bay City, and Palacios area. While here we're pretty much on the clear side this morning, basically with a few clouds here and there. And because of the low pressure to our east, because the low pressure just like this, it kind of rotates, or counterclockwise, I'm trying to say, as it's bringing in the drier air from the north. All locations have northerly wind flow this morning. Coming off the continent, off the Gulf of Mexico, it'll be a lot more humid. Off the continent, of course, there's less humidity there. So it's feeling pretty good this morning, 5 to 10 mile per hour winds as we go throughout the majority of the day. And let's do a quick plan by day for Port Lavaca, 56 degrees by 7 a.m. and the 70, 75 degrees by 4 o'clock should be their daytime high in Port Lavaca this morning. And this afternoon, as was after what I'm trying to say, at 4 o'clock. No rain anticipated. There is rain chance in the forecast. We'll take a look when a little bit later on. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. The nation reeling from yet another mass shooting, this time at a bank in Louisville, Kentucky. Authorities initially said 4 people were killed and 9 others hurt when a suspect opened fire at the Old National Bank Monday morning. A 5th person died later Monday evening. The gunman is identified as 23-year-old Connor Sturgeon. He was an employee of the bank and he was killed in an exchange of gunfire with police. Among the hurt were 2 Louisville police officers. One was a recent graduate of the police academy who was shot during the exchange of gunfire. Former Tennessee state lawmaker Justin Jones was reappointed to his House seat after being expelled over a gun protest. Nashville's Metro Council voted to reappoint Jones as interim representative late Monday afternoon. By a unanimous vote of 36-0. The vote comes after Jones and another colleague were expelled for leading chants on the House floor to demand stricter gun control measures. Moments after he was reinstated, Jones was sworn in on the state capitol steps surrounded by hundreds of cheering supporters. After the swearing in, a triumphant Jones entered the chamber alongside Representative Gloria Johnson, who managed to maintain her seat. Jones will hold the seat until a special election can be held. We now turn to Idaho and the trial of Lori Vallow Daybell, accused of using a doomsday religious cult to justify killing her children.
Prosecutors are laying out their case against an Idaho mother accused of murdering her 2 children.
The defendant, Lori Vallow Daybell, used money, power, and sex, or the promise of those things, to get what she wanted.
Lori Vallow and her husband, Chad Daybell, allegedly killed Lori's children, JJ and Ty Lee, as part of a religious cult preparing for the end of the world. They're also charged in the death of Chad's late wife, Tammy, Both pleaded not guilty. During opening statements at Lori's trial, prosecutors revealed Tammy died of asphyxiation and said Chad and Lori were planning to spend her life insurance money.
Tammy died at the hands of another.
The cause of Tammy's death was initially ruled as natural causes, but investigators exhumed her body as they gathered evidence in JJ and Tylee's death. The children's bodies were found buried on Chad's property after JJ's grandmother, Kay Woodcock, reported them missing. Woodcock was the first witness called to the stand yesterday. She says only 17 days after Tammy died, she signed into an Amazon account that Lori had access to and saw searches for wedding dresses and rings. In divorce papers from Lori's previous marriage, her ex-husband said Lori thought she was a godlike figure who believed her kids were zombies. But the defense yesterday insisted Lori has a happy-go-lucky personality.
Lori was such a good, responsible mother to her two children. She believes in life after death, and she believes she will see her deceased family, including her children, again. When there's lack of evidence, the law calls it not guilty. You said you would be fair and impartial.
Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Prosecutors are expected to call more than 200 witnesses at the trial. Lori is also charged in the death of her ex-husband in Arizona. In Victoria, a motorcyclist hospitalized last night after a crash on Ben Jordan in Colorado. The motorcycle appears to have hit the back of a car. Witnesses say the biker landed on the car's rear windshield and shattered the glass. The biker was transported to the hospital by EMS in an unknown condition. No further details on the crash are released at this time. 3 vehicles were involved in a crash after a pickup truck ran a red light Monday morning. The crash happened at the intersection of North Main Street and West Mockingbird Lane. The pickup truck was traveling westbound on Mockingbird when he ran the light and hit a camper. The camper then fishtailed and hit another vehicle stopped at the light. No one was hurt. Main Street northbound shut down briefly while crews worked to clear the scene, which took several hours to clear. The road reopened at 2:30 that afternoon. On Monday, during the annual White House Easter egg roll, President Biden told Today Show co-host Al Roker that he has plans to run for a second term in 2024. Despite recent setbacks, Democrats have indicated they will fully support a Biden re-election bid without an official announcement. At 80, Biden would be one of the oldest presidential candidates in history. All right, get your cell phone or smart device. We made it easy to download the Crosswords Today app. You can get breaking news alerts, vote on our viewer poll, get the latest in sports and weather. And you can also submit those news tips and photos. And the time is almost 6:38 on your Tuesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. The Guadalupe River in Victoria cresting overnight.
And win in Washington. Heartache out of Louisville, Kentucky after a gunman opened fire in a bank, killing at least 5 people. The latest coming up.
Okay, quiet on the outside, no precipitation. Looking at the satellite radar composite, there is some rain in the offshore water south of Galveston, not moving our way, moving to the east around a low pressure area south of Louisiana. Our next rain chance, when will that be? It is in the forecast. I'll let you know when coming up.
Hi, I'm David Zalman, Prosperity Bank's CEO. Our bankers are dedicated to helping you achieve your financial goals. Whether it's our new 22-month step-up CD, a new mortgage, or a commercial line of credit, Prosperity offers you personalized service in all our locations or through online banking. That's how we've grown from a single location to hundreds today, working for our customers. That's a Prosperity difference. So if you're our customer, thank you. If not, you should be.
Attention parents! If you are working, looking for work, attending school, or in training for a better career, did you know that you may qualify for child care assistance through Workforce Solutions Golden Crescent? Child care assistance can help you make those ends meet and is just a phone call away. Some guidelines apply. If you live in Calhoun, DeWitt, Goliad, Gonzales, Jackson, Lavaca, or Victoria County, call 578-0341 to schedule your appointment to learn more. Workforce Solutions Golden Crescent, working for you. Workforce Solutions is an equal opportunity employer program.
We know you always buy everything your family needs, like the best cuts from our meat market, a bakery with fresh goods baked daily. We are here to assist you, and you can grab fresh tacos. Supermercado Morelos. Live the tradition.
Are you ready to stop letting big business take your customers away? Phase 3 Digital is your #1 digital marketing resource to keep your customers shopping with you. With an office right here in the Crossroads and a team of support across the nation, we can help you wherever your business is in the online journey. From building a site to developing e-commerce capabilities to growing your customer base, we will drive results. It is time to take the next step in growing your business with Phase 3 Digital. Are you ready to take your customers back? Give us a call or visit us online to get started.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hope everything's going well for you this morning. And current time, by the way, is 20 minutes away from 7 a.m. And let's take a look at the big picture, of course, throughout the entire United States. While we have high pressure ridging in here from the East Coast, kind of ridging down in South Texas, keeping us on the dry side for the moment. And there is a weak low pressure area in the Gulf of Mexico. I'll show you that here momentarily. Our next weather maker for us is going to come from the Pacific Northwest, where currently a front is moving through that area, taking about the rest of the week before it gets here, by Saturday getting into our neighborhood here in the Victoria region, giving us some rain chances by then. This is the old front in the Gulf of Mexico that came through the other day. A weak low pressure area has formed along the frontal zone there, moving toward the central Gulf Coast near Mobile, Alabama to New Orleans, Gulfport area, and heading on toward the north from there. Promises to bring some good rains and maybe some severe weather from the mid-south up into the mid-Atlantic area coming up next day or 2 or 3. While this front gets closer to us, as you see, and giving us some rain chances by the time we get to the weekend, and then a little bit cooler behind the front once again. We got your full forecast coming up a little bit later this half hour before we go. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. Now to the horrifying moment when a Louisville, Kentucky bank employee opened fire at his workplace, killing at least 5 people and hurting 9 others, all while live streaming on social media. Police say officers immediately located the shooter when they arrived at Old National Bank and took him down in an exchange of gunfire. A move the department is crediting for saving countless lives.
This morning, a mass shooting in Louisville, Kentucky, rocking the nation after a bank employee armed with a rifle opened fire at his workplace, killing at least 5 people, injuring several others. Troy Haste says the gunman walked into their crowded conference room and started shooting.
And the lady next to me turned around and said, "What the hell?" And then he just started shooting. Whoever's next to me got shot and hit bloods on me from it.
Haste ran and others scrambled to lock themselves in bathrooms and reportedly hide in the vault.
I thought there was like something like dropping because they were doing some construction. I got up there and the guy was like, "Run, there's a shooter."
Sources tell ABC News the gunman was recently given notice that he was going to be fired and that he left a note for his parents and friends indicating he planned to shoot up the bank. Police say the 25-year-old shooter was live streaming during the attack before officers arrived on the scene within 3 minutes of being dispatched, quickly killing the gunman in a shootout.
And I want to thank them and all our other law enforcement officers for responding and doing their best to try to save some of my friends and many others.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear says 2 of the victims were his close friends.
Tommy Elliott helped me build my law career, helped me become governor, gave me advice on being a good dad.
2 Louisville Metro police officers were also shot, including Officer Nicholas Wilt, shot in the head and now in critical but stable condition.
We're also praying for the recovery of Officer Wilt, who heroically and rapidly entered the building. We have to take action.
And overnight, a vigil remembering the victims, Thomas Elliott, Jim Tutt, Josh Barrick, Juliana Farmer, and Deanna Eckert. There have been at least 15 mass shootings since the start of April and 146 so far this year. That's 20 more than this time last year, according to the Gun Violence Archive. Em Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
The Guadalupe River in Victoria cresting at 22.3 feet. That's observed last night at 2:15 a.m. The flood stage is at 21 feet. The National Weather Service forecasted the river to drop below flood stage sometime overnight. The city has reopened the RV Park, Boat Ramp, Pebble Beach, Fox's Bend, and John F. Lee Drive in Riverside Park. And here are the current river flood warnings posted for the crossroads from the National Weather Service. In Victoria County, a flood warning is in effect until later this morning for the Guadalupe River at Victoria. For Victoria and Calhoun counties, a flood warning is in effect until early Wednesday afternoon at the Guadalupe River near Bloomington. The time is just about 6:45 on your Tuesday morning. Still to come. Iowa's Attorney General is pausing funding for emergency contraception and in some cases abortion for sexual assault victims.
Make your first move with battery power made by Steel. Right now, save $50 on the FSA 57 battery trimmer. Real Steel. Find yours.
CCA Texas and industry leaders have built the largest saltwater redfish, spotted sea trout, and southern flounder hatchery system in the world, releasing nearly 1 billion fingerlings into our Texas bays. Adult broodstock are spawned in tanks. Hundreds of thousands of fingerlings are raised in grow-out ponds and released into bays to ensure we have healthy populations for future generations. Join CCA today and help us make a difference.
At a time when misinformation is all too common on social media, we take great pride in bringing you the news that matters, that impacts your family, news you can trust. Local broadcast journalists bring you the facts, covering the stories breaking in our community and across the globe. Text TV to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on local journalism. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a warning from the FBI.
It's travel season, and we're all out there trying to make sure that when we're on the road, hotels, airports, malls, you name it, that our phones can stay charged. The concern is a public charging station. It's not necessarily monitored.
The FBI issuing a tweet cautioning you against using free charging stations in airports, hotels, or shopping centers, warning you could be unwittingly giving a criminal all the information off your phone.
These public charging stations could be tampered with by people with nefarious intent. They could install malware or monitoring software on your device, which could allow them to see things like usernames, passwords, who you choose to bank with. That's all very problematic.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll share tips for keeping your devices safe. With your GMA First Look, I'm Will Reeve, ABC News, New York.
Good morning. Current time is 6:48 and temperature is in the 50s this morning. Cool start. Everywhere you go, 55 degrees in Goliad, Beeville, Victoria, Edna, and near 60 degrees or so along the immediate coast. But it's cool everywhere you go this morning with that dry air in place, lower humidities, and keeping our atmosphere fairly nice today. A few high clouds from time to time. There is some precipitation and rain just south of Galveston. You see right there. It's moving to the east away from us along a low pressure area south of the Louisiana coast. But the good conditions will continue throughout the day, off and on periods of clouds and sun. So we'll see plenty of sunshine today overall. High temperature today, 75 degrees, northerly winds, near 10 miles per hour, partly cloudy skies. Overnight lows again because the low humidity is still in place, being on the cool side, 56 degrees. Morning fog again possible in the morning time. Be careful out there. 77 for your Wednesday, partly cloudy skies, morning fog. Extended forecast for us. Temperatures in the 70s to 80 degrees throughout the forecast period. Next front on Saturday with the next rain chance, and again cooler by Sunday and Monday.
Iowa's Attorney General is pausing funding for emergency contraception and in some cases abortion for sexual assault victims. Iowa Attorney General Brenna Bird says she is evaluating whether this is an appropriate use of public funds. Until her review is complete, the state will be delaying payment of any pending claims that would assist victims of sexual assault. Iowa has provided emergency contraception like Plan B as well as abortions for sexual assault survivors since 1979. Under the program, victims of rape have not been responsible for paying for exams or medications required due to the assault. Planned Parenthood is calling the Iowa AG's decision, quote, deplorable and reprehensible, unquote. Leading us to your viewer poll, should emergency contraception be provided for sexual assault survivors? Let's take a look. Okay, 90% of you say yes and 10% of you say no. We want to keep hearing from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. You can also scan the QR code. It's right there on your screen to take part. A popular e-cigarette maker has agreed to pay out millions of dollars to settle a lawsuit accusing the company of deceptive advertising. Monday, West Virginia's Attorney General announced that the state had settled its lawsuit with Juul Labs. The company will pay a total of $7.9 million to the state after it accused Juul of using unfair and deceptive practices in the ads and marketing for its products. The lawsuit accused Juul of misleading consumers about the nicotine strength in its products and of targeting teenagers through social media by using celebrities, popular bloggers, and influencers. In a statement, Juul said the settlement was, quote, another step in the ongoing commitment to resolve issues from the company's past. Still to come on Sunrise News to Know Before You Go. A lawsuit claims a former NFL player was drugged before his death last year.
Moves on, but you just can't. News-making nightmares. You believe that Jerome was wrongfully convicted.
Oh, I know he was wrongfully convicted.
He's in prison for how long?
Life.
You feel guilty when you're happy.
It makes me physically sick.
How to move on. You saw someone getting shot and killed.
I was made out to be a hero, and I was like, no, I carry guilt. That's something that I feel I'm gonna carry till the day I die.
New Dr. Phil.
Just having the show before the show, she and I.
Yes, we were. We were talking about, well, I can't tell you what we were talking about. It's top secret.
Next 5, Jennifer Garner plus Jesse Metcalf. And Friday,
This has been the greatest ride for me.
I
I've had
can't
the best
thank
time.
you enough on all of our behalf.
join us for Ryan's farewell celebration.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. I mean, you already moved your sofa here.
Oscar winner Helen Hunt. Your daughter went off to college since the last time you were.
No, it's fine. I'm fine.
Also, you have a new tattoo, right? What does it stand for?
You know, don't mess with me is in there somewhere.
Yeah, I love that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have one on my middle finger that's
You
like.
do?
Plus, Jodie Turner-Smith. We're ready for spring, y'all. Mama was prepared, okay?
Because that's her energy.
From America's #1 news source comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and it can customize to you and your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience what all the buzz is about. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
And now it's time for today's question of the day. When offered a choice of color of these, red is the most popular color chosen. What is it? Okay, Trey, we've got lots of guesses for roses.
All right.
Also jelly beans, M&Ms, an apple, of course. Although I like a good green apple. They're kind of sweeter, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And those are our guesses, Trey.
Well, very good, very good. Thanks everyone for chiming in. I know this question was a little bit vague, but it's you had to really think about what it could be, and the answer is, ready for this? It's the red crayon.
Ah.
There you go. All right, thanks for chiming in. The question of the day. Stay tuned tomorrow. Another great question of the day that gets your day started for your Wacky Wednesday.
President Joe Biden has signed a bill terminating the national emergency related to COVID-19. The bill would take effect immediately. The measure ends the national emergency a month earlier than the administration had planned, prompting changes to some pandemic-related federal programs. A separate public health emergency tied to COVID will remain until May 11th. Since he took office, Biden has come under harsh criticism from Republicans over his administration's COVID response, particularly over vaccination and mask requirements. A lawsuit claims a former NFL player was drugged before his death last year. Dwayne Haskins was hit by a dump truck on a highway in South Florida in April 2022. The Broward County Medical Examiner's Office says the 24-year-old had a blood alcohol level more than twice the legal limit at the time of his death. The Florida Highway Patrol said the former Steelers quarterback had run out of gas on the side of Interstate 595 and left his rental car on foot to look for gas. But he was struck while crossing the interstate. A lawsuit filed by an attorney representing Haskins' wife and his parents this week claims Haskins was not only drugged but blackmailed and robbed that night. The lawsuit does not provide further details about the allegations. The lingering effects of the East Palestine derailment continues to be felt throughout the state of Ohio as a truck that was carrying contaminated soil from the derailment overturned and spilled on Monday. The Ohio State Highway Patrol says the commercial truck with an open-top trailer ended up on its side off the right side of the roadway. A preliminary investigation found the truck was traveling northbound when it went off the highway, hit a ditch and a utility pole, and then overturned. The spill was contained quickly, however, and is not a threat to nearby waterways. The driver sustained minor injuries as a result of the crash and was cited for operating a vehicle without reasonable control. One person was hurt after a small plane went off the runway in Allegheny County Airport in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania yesterday. That happened just after 3 p.m. Law enforcement and first responders were called to the scene at around 3 p.m. There was only one person, the pilot, aboard the aircraft when the incident took place. She was transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Why the planes get off the runway is still under investigation. The airport is expected to resume normal operations soon, but when exactly, that remains to be seen. The Victoria Central Appraisal District has issued appraisal notices. The district reports it has mailed almost 46,000 appraisal notices for properties in Victoria County. The district reports the price of properties have increased dramatically in 1 year, and that increases the appraised value. If you have any questions concerning your appraised value, contact 361-576-3621. Taxpayers have until May 15th to protest their appraised value. We want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and then on your cell phone, just search Crossroads Today Plus. Let's go ahead and get a look at our viewer poll one more time. We want to know, should emergency contraception be provided for sexual assault survivors? Okay, 90% of you say yes. So it was at 100% most of the morning today, but now 10% of you are saying no. Thank you for taking part in our viewer poll. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote. Now, let's get that look at our forecast with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Trey Mining.
And thank you so much, Carolina. Take a look at the temperatures. Starting off on the cool side in the 50s. Nice cool start with low humidity in place, and we'll be well into the mid-70s by the afternoon, 2 o'clock or so for our daytime high. A few clouds here and there, no precipitation, no rainfall expected for your day today. And the clouds will kind of come and go. That's false echo, by the way. And we'll take a look at the sunshine breaking through the clouds time to time with temperatures in the mid-70s for the daytime high. Partly cloudy skies, light winds from the north and northeast, bringing that drier air in continuously for the next day or two. 56 degrees tonight. Another cool start tomorrow morning. Morning fog not out of the question. It's good to see that in and around the region. And then for your day tomorrow, Wednesday, 77 degrees, partly cloudy skies, morning fog, and then a nice day again. And we're seeing the temperatures getting near 80 degrees or topping that by the time we get to Friday. Next rain chance on Saturday with the next front, then a little bit cooler for next week. Get out there and enjoy the day and make it a great day as always. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Trey, and thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Come to crossroadstoday.com for more local news, weather, and sports, and join James, Don, Karina, Mac, and Gino today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.